Hello friends, welcome back to the old coins element. The Kennedy half dollar was first minted in 1964, following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. It was designed as a tribute and quickly approved by Congress. The coin replaced the Franklin half dollar. By 1971, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in regular issue coins, making the 1971 Kennedy half dollar the first struck entirely from copper-nickel clad composition for circulation. The Kennedy half dollars from 1971 and 1972 were struck at 3 different U.S. Mint facilities. Metal, 75% copper, 25% nickel over a pure copper core. Diameter, 30.6 millimeters. Weight, 11.34 grams. Edge, reeded. Designer, Gilroy Roberts, obverse. Frank Casparo, reverse. The coins have visible wear. Typical value, 50 cents to $1. Not highly collectible unless error or rare variety is found. Bright luster, no wear. Graded as MS60, MS70, mint state. Typical value, $1 to $10. Higher grades can go up to $20 plus. Mirror-like finish, struck for collectors. Found in sets only. Typical value, $3 to $10 depending on condition. Only 3 mints struck the 1971 to 72 Kennedy half dollar, so here are details of possible markings. No mint mark equals Philadelphia. D equals Denver. S equals San Francisco, proofs only. Note, there are no P Philadelphia marks on these coins before 1980. 1972, DDDO, double die obverse, scarce, collectible. 1971, D overstrikes or clad layer errors. No known silver issues except from special 40% silver collector sets, only made in 1970 and for bicentennial in 1976. Would you like values for specific coins you own or a photo-based condition assessment? The first step, the 1971 Liberty half dollar, officially known as the Kennedy half dollar, is more than just a piece of currency. It embodies a pivotal era in American history, a tribute to a fallen president, and a reflection of shifting trends in U.S. coinage. Issued after the transition away from silver coinage, this coin marked the beginning of a new numismatic era in the United States. The Kennedy half dollar series began in 1964, shortly after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. His sudden death stunned the nation, and Congress moved swiftly to honor his legacy. The half dollar denomination was chosen to bear his image, replacing the Benjamin Franklin design. Designer, Gilroy Roberts, obverse, and Frank Casparo, reverse. Obverse, a profile of President Kennedy, facing left. Reverse, the presidential seal, an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by 50 stars and the inscription, United States of America, half dollar. The year 1971 marked a major transition. It was the first year the Kennedy half dollar was struck in copper-nickel clad, as opposed to the 40% silver content used from 1965 to 1970 and the 90% silver used in 1964. This change was due to rising silver prices and increasing demand for cheaper coin production. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar was minted in large quantities at 2 major U.S. mints. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. Mintage, 155 million. Denver Mint, mint mark D. Mintage, 302 million. There were number 1971 half dollars minted for circulation in San Francisco, though proof coins were produced at the San Francisco Mint for collectors. Initially, the Kennedy half dollar was widely circulated across all U.S. states and territories. However, over time, usage declined sharply. The coin's large size made it inconvenient for everyday transactions. Many people hoarded the coin due to its commemorative and sentimental value, especially in the 1960s and 70s. Banks and merchants found them inefficient for cash registers and transactions. By the late 1970s, the Kennedy half dollar had largely disappeared from regular circulation, but it continued to be minted for collectors and occasionally for use in casinos, banks, and vending. Some 1971 half dollars also made their way abroad, particularly through U.S. military bases, embassies, and foreign banks with dollar reserves. Diameter, 30.6 millimeters. Weight, 11.34 grams. Composition, copper-nickel clad, outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. Edge, reeded. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar's value largely depends on condition and mint mark. It contains no silver, so its base value is typically around 50 cents, unless in high-grade condition. Common, face value coin. Heavy wear, loss of luster, scratches. Value, $0.50, $0.7. Sharp detail, no wear, full mint luster. Can grade from MS60 to MS70. Value, $1.00, $15.00, depending on grade. Proof coins from San Francisco Mint. Not for circulation. Mirror-like finish, struck multiple times for sharp detail. Value, $3.00, $10.00, higher if in perfect PR 69-70. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, or other mint errors can bring higher premiums, $50 to several $100s depending on rarity. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is a symbolic bridge between the silver era and the modern base metal coinage. It's the first non-silver half-dollar in over 175 years of U.S. coinage. Collectors value it not just for rarity, but for what it represents: a post-assassination tribute to a beloved president, an artifact of 1970s American coinage policy, and a nostalgic link to mid-20th century history. Conclusion. Though often overlooked today, the 1971 Liberty Kennedy half-dollar is a remarkable artifact. Its significance lies not in its material, but in its meaning, etched into American memory through the enduring legacy of President Kennedy. Whether in a collector's album or a drawer full of coins, it stands as a tangible reminder of history, change, and national reverence. Would you like a printable version of this script or a visual guide to accompany it? The last step it appears you're referring to a Liberty half-dollar coin from the United States dated 1972. However, there's a need for some clarification. There is no U.S. half-dollar specifically called the Liberty half-dollar minted in 1972. Instead, the Kennedy half-dollar, which features the image of President John F. Kennedy, was the standard half-dollar in circulation that year. If your coin reads Liberty and is dated 1972, it's most likely a Kennedy half-dollar. Let's explore its full background in a comprehensive narrative format. In the grand numismatic history of the United States, few coins carry as much political and emotional significance as the Kennedy half-dollar. The 1972 issue, like others from the series, encapsulates a moment in American memory, a tribute to a fallen president and a nation seeking unity in a time of change. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in November 1963. The coin was designed swiftly by U.S. Mint chief engraver Gilroy Roberts, obverse, and Frank Asparo, reverse, replacing the Franklin half-dollar. Americans embraced the design as a tribute to a young president who symbolized hope, youth, and progress. By 1972, the coin was well into its 9th year of mintage. It was part of a broader shift in American currency during the mid-20th century, both in terms of material and circulation. Obverse front. Portrait of John F. Kennedy facing left. The word Liberty arches above. The motto, "In God We Trust," is split by Kennedy's neck. The date, 1972, sits at the bottom. Reverse back. The presidential seal, featuring a heraldic eagle clutching an olive branch and arrows. Surrounding it, United States of America and half-dollar. 50 stars surround the eagle, representing the states of the Union. In 1972, Kennedy half-dollars were struck at 3 major U.S. mint locations. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Denver, D mint mark. San Francisco, S mint mark, only for proofs. The Philadelphia and Denver issues were struck for circulation, while the San Francisco Mint produced high-quality proof coins for collectors. Okay. The 1972 Kennedy half-dollar is not silver, unlike its earlier counterparts from 1964, 90% silver, or 1965 to 1970, 40% silver. Instead, it is made from outer layers, 75% copper, 25% nickel, cupronickel, core, pure copper. This change reflected rising silver prices and was part of a broader transition away from silver in U.S. coinage. Though minted in large quantities, over 150 million coins across all facilities, the Kennedy half-dollar was already beginning to fall out of daily circulation by 1972. People hoarded them due to their association with Kennedy, while others simply preferred more compact denominations for everyday use. As a result, they were used more in casinos, banks, and collector sets than in pocket change. Coins in uncirculated condition retain their original mint luster and show no wear. They are graded from MS-60 to MS-70. A 1972 Kennedy half-dollar in MS-65 might fetch $5 to $15, with higher values for top-grade coins or those with notable mint errors, such as double dies or misstrikes. Circulated condition. Most 1972 Kennedy half-dollars found in pocket change today are in circulated condition. Their value is typically face value, 50 cents, unless particularly well-preserved or part of a collector's interest. Struck at the San Francisco Mint, these coins were not meant for circulation. Deep cameo proofs, with frosted details and mirrored fields, can command $5 to $20 or more depending on condition. Though no longer widely used in daily commerce, the Kennedy half-dollar series remains a collector favorite, especially among those interested in presidential history. Cold War-era Americana. U.S. minting transitions from silver to clad compositions. Collectors often seek complete sets by year and mint mark, including proofs and special issues. The Kennedy half-dollar endures as more than just coinage. It's a tangible link to a defining moment in 20th century American history. The 1972 issue, while not rare, continues to circulate among collectors and hobbyists as a testament to American ideals, innovation, and memory. Would you like a visual reference or coin identification guide based on the one you have?